have changed here, as now here's a Dragon Lord's prerogative. That can't be countered, of course, as a dragon has been revealed. I suppose Riley could try to, or at least take advantage of this mana being tapped by Gerard. So we'll see what does happen.
Man, Gerard's shields are pretty low right now.
Yeah, Riley has a card like Dig Through Time in his hand right now that he might want to take the opportunity to try to resolve. I think the other thing that's working its way in the equation is how much does he actually want to cast Dig Through Time for mana-wise. He's got a couple of cards in the graveyard. It looks like just 3 and 2 negates and a Tasigur.
Yeah, it's an expensive one for sure. His graveyard is not stocked right now.
It's possible he just says, I'll just tap 8 mana or 7 because he's leaving Tasigur in the graveyard. That's a Slumgar Scorn. Gerard's going to reveal the Dragon Lord Ojutai. That's on the table that he's revealed for Dragon Lord's prerogative. And now we're building ourselves a stack right now. There's Slumgar Scorn. So Scorn or Counter Scorn. Dig Through Time is going to resolve.
No revealed required there for Riley also, as Gerard had tapped all the way out.
Riley's going to take 2 cards. Of those 7, the rest will go on the bottom. And now Dragon Lord's prerogative is going to resolve for Fabiano, of course. Can't be countered thanks to the reveal of Dragon Lord Ojutai. And now Gerard's going to untap. He'll take a draw. Can he overcome this Pearl Lake Kingship?
He's got a grip full of cards. And if he's got enough removal, he can sort of play that tempo game against Pearl Lake where it's setting Riley further and further back to redeploy it, even if Gerard's never able to permanently kill it.
And Gerard's going to try to start doing that with Dragon Lord Slumgar.
Well, I feel like Riley's got to pick this thing up and put it in his hand.
You think so? Yeah. Maybe. This might be the best way to go about starting this game plan. Wow, he's going, ooh, interesting. I mean, this means that Riley has a removal spell.
Right.
That's basically what this is saying.
Not only does he have a removal spell, but he's confident he can get it to resolve, too. That's the other thing.
What if Gerard has something like, I don't know, some sort of removal spell to kill some Pearl King? It is a sideboard game, so I'd be surprised if he did.
Curious to see how this one plays out now, because Riley to let that one go has to mean either one of two things. He feels like he can't win if he sets himself behind 3 lands, or he's so confident that he can get a removal spell on Dragon Lord Slumgar to resolve that he doesn't need to pick a fight over it.
And that's not a thing that you just let happen. That's a decision that you make. Curran's going to start tapping some mana. Dragon Lord's prerogative, revealing Dragon Lord Ojutai. He gets 4 cards. Thoughtseize. You see Gerard has at least 1 dissolve in his hand. Dragon Lord Ojutai over there as well. Here's the grip. Anticipate, dissolve, dig through time, Narset, Dragon Lord Ojutai, Temple of Enlightenment.
Ashiok.
Surprise, surprise. Never seen Gerard with one of those before.
At the main stage, if you want to play in the Legacy IQ or the Modern IQ, please come to the main stage if you'd like to pre-register. Thank you.
Riley's going to write down the contents before making his selection. All those cards are quite powerful, no doubt. He will take dissolve. There's an island. And a passing of the turn, yikes.
Curious. Expect Gerard to test the waters here with a dig through time.
Huh? I like not casting anything and just kind of having all your mana up. Disdainful Stroke was the draw. And here's an attack. Just for some reason, I was just really, if I'm Gerard in that situation, I'm just really comfortable just not casting anything. Like if you cast Anticipate, like the shields are down, you're not entirely sure what for, but like the shields are down anyway because you don't have a counter spell.
Exactly.
So.
That if Gerard still had the dissolve in hand, I'm with you. Maybe Gerard just feels like he's just very likely to have to discard the hand size.
Gerard going to keep getting aggressive, playing Narset. He liked what he saw on top of the Temple. There's Salongar scoring. There's a Dragon to reveal. Dragon Lord Ojutai.
And Gerard doesn't necessarily have to pick a battle over this Narset as he's got the card advantage game he's in very good shape for.
Speaking of which, there's dig through time. Fabiano going to take a look at 7 cards, take 2 with him. See if G-Fabs can find something he likes.
I know Gerard likes a dissolve.
Hard to pass that up. There's dissolve on Salongar scoring. That means Narset's in. Take a look at the top card from Narset. That's a miss. 7 counters on that thing, though, I think. Okay. I think he hits then.
Yeah, he scried with the dissolve and then left on top.
Thank you. Yep, that's my fault there. There's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah. These stacks are getting pretty built up, to say the least.
Here's a dig through time from Riley. Let's see if I can keep up now. Take a look at 7 cards.
Well, in this odd way, Gerard has sort of tempoed him out of the game. At least he's spending his mana proactively to be pushing through things, whereas Riley's just been drawing some cards these last couple turns and taking some shots.
I think Riley found a winner. Yeah, he found a winner.
That counts. Ugin will play.
Yeah. Ugin will play. Take it on down. And Riley's got a pretty full hand, too.
Yes. Now, Gerard's under a lot of pressure next turn to fire back with something of substance.
Yep.
Especially now, Riley getting back his Pearl Lake agent.
Well, his Pearl Lake's going to die in this exchange for Mugen. Am I incorrect?
Pearl Lake is 7 cost.
Oh, no, I am incorrect.
And
Thank
he just
you.
lunges us for 6.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
This got bad fast. I was actually assuming Pearl Lake was going to die.
Nope.
Nope, this is bad news if you're a Gerard Fabiano fan.
Again, Gerard can still do things like, okay, again, downfall the Ugin, for example. He's under no immediate threat of dying to the Pearl Lake agent because he's got Foul Tongue invocation. You can also just, I suppose, draw an Ugin of your own, which is not bad, because Riley's at 6.
This got complicated.
Now, Gerard may be a mana short of doing everything that he wants to do, because I think he would ideally like to play Ugin and do something about the Pearl Lake agent this turn.
He's going to use Ugin to take care of the Ugin on the other side of the table. All right.
So I suppose he's daring Riley to put together 3 different prowess triggers this turn.
Yeah. Slumgar scoring the draw. That's the first time we've had Ugin kill Ugin on camera.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Would not bet my life on it. Not 100%.
Okay. Here comes Pearl Lake. Just trying to keep Ugin in check now. Bunch of mana. Oh, there's Dragon Lord Ojutai. Disdainful stroke. At least an attempt. That works. Another one. Pass. Fabiano gets on tap with Ugin. That might mean something.
I don't know if Gerard is going to necessarily win this game, but I think he's done a great job of using his mana so efficiently. Even when he's hit 10, 11 mana, it feels like he's still tapping out every single turn doing productive stuff.
Blue to Delta going to be sacrificed. Fabiano's Ugin went upstairs to Curran's head. Put him at 3. Hero's Downfall in Gerard's hand. Doesn't anticipate. Some dragons over there. There's a lot going on. Let's see how he wants to sequence stuff here. I'm going to start with Hero's Downfall, go after a Pearl Lake Ancient. Curran's going to pick up a couple of lands. For him, he wants to pick up lands that matter, too.
Well, it's odd because he actually needs to pick up a Dismal Backwater here.
Yeah, which he did.
Which gets him from 3 to 4,
Yep.
which means that even if he's unable to kill the Ugin next turn, he's not necessarily dead.
Here's Foul Tongue Invocation. Revealing Dragonlord Ojutai. That's a Slumgar Scorn. Does Fabiano have a counter spell back? He's reaching for mana, so it leads me to believe that he does. Okay, it's an Anticipate, so maybe he's looking for one. Made a selection pretty quickly there. Anticipate resolves. Foul Tongue still on the stack. Foul Tongue is countered. Does Fabiano have a healthy follow-up? This is Ashiok. Not bad.
A little late to the party.
Yeah, but, you know, the game has gone on pretty long, so maybe a little milling will happen here. Riley also has a decision to make. There's 2 Planeswalkers out there with 5.
I like getting the Ugin off the table as the first order of business.
Okay. You're talking about Gerard maximizing mana.
Another turn of tapping out.
Yep. None left behind. See if Curran can do the same here. Start things off and then anticipate. They'll look at the top 3. Dismal Backwater, a Swamp. Another copy of Dismal Backwater. Not all that exciting. There's Dismal Backwater. Curran's up to 4 out of Ugin range. These decks have so many answers for each other that oftentimes we see them kind of get into a situation like this, and that's why everyone's been talking about how you can get a draw in the first game.
Yep. Although this is a really protracted second game where both players have, if anything, ratcheted up their ability to win the game faster.
Dragonlord Ojutai came in. Gerard's going to use Ashiok to put a Dragonlord Ojutai in on his side of the table. You can't forget that Curran does have Pearlingation in hand. Dismal Backwater there for Fabiano. He's up to 18. There's the Pearl Lake. Let's see what happens here. He can't counter it, but Gerard can take advantage of the fact that Curran is tapped out, so he will by casting a Dig Through Time.
And there are no copies of Pearl Lake Ancient in Gerard's list.
Most builds of this deck don't have that card.
It is looked like quite the headache for Gerard in this game. Now, he can stem the tide against it for a very long time, and you know, the Pearl Lake's been on several turn delay after getting killed the first time around, but eventually it'll do its thing.
Yep. Hero's Downfall. Going after Pearl Lake. Looking to reset it again.
Just trying to set Riley's development back as much as possible.
You'd be surprised to see Hero's Downfall actually kill that thing. It's such a potent weapon.
Yeah.
But also being behind 3 lands and control mirror is also pretty potent.
Gerard is just doing his best. I mean, this is the game he has to play right now. Riley's drawn a lot of cards over the last couple turns, and one of the ways to take the sting out of all the cards drawn for a while here is to force Riley to only cast 1 spell a turn. Make him discard a hand size, don't allow him to leverage all of his resources. And that was an opportunity for Gerard, again tapping out to stake Dragonlord's prerogative, gas all the way back up.
Foul Tongue Invocation. Show you Silumgar. It's Curran's Dragonlord Ojutai, so it's going to go to the graveyard, and now he gets to hit with the one that he has on the battlefield. So in we go. Disdainful Stroke was the card that was added.
Not surprising. Riley at this point, he's ahead, and the more and more that he can find counter spells, the more he can cement this.
Riley's played a nice game here.
He has. And
Though I think he just made an error.
I believe so.
Yep.
I think he may have picked up 3 cards there off of a Scry land.
Yep.
On the heels of having activated Dragon Lord Ojutai.
Yeah, he hit with Dragon Lord Ojutai, took the Disdainful Stroke, played a Temple of Deceit, now he's looking at 3 cards instead of 1. And unfortunately for him, I don't know what the result will be. But of course, we're going to have a judge call over here for that. And I don't know if that's a fixable situation.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm not sure. And you can, it's funny because we have seen stuff like this happen in Legacy, not in Standard. I'm obviously thinking about Ponder versus Brainstorm versus Preordain, because they're all 1 mana cantrip effects. And so we have seen matches play out where someone plays a Ponder and they think that they're brainstorming, so they draw the 3 cards and add them to their hand. And the rules on that are pretty clear. That's just a game loss.
The more and more that you have people pick up their deck or pick up the top card of their deck, the more and more you're going to see situations like this.
Yep.
Usually, there's only one of those things going on in a format at a particular time. So temples, for example, you're doing the same thing over and over again, so you get into a rhythm with it. With this sort of deck, you have Dig Through Time, you have Dragon Lord Ojutai, you have Anticipate, you have your temples, and there's probably some other smaller examples of this mixed into the deck, and it's just easy when you're trying to move fast, and this is a spot where we're in game 2 right now.
He's trying to move
Riley's
fast.
trying to move fast because it looks like a good spot. He doesn't want to pick up a draw, and it's just easy to slip up in those kind of spots.
Yeah, without question. And you could tell as soon as it happened, he's just like, ah, crap. Didn't mean to do that, obviously. So, you know, we'll see what the ruling ends up being in this particular situation. We saw the last ruling with the Tasker activation where Riley didn't get the opportunity to do that because he had already passed through Gerard's turn. So that never happened. We joined the game in progress a little bit past that point. I don't want to say way past that, but a little bit past that point. And so we'll see what the ruling is here. It'll be pretty straightforward, I imagine. I don't know if this is game loss territory or not.
I'm not familiar enough with this stuff because I do not believe the cards ever entered Riley's hand. They were set aside. So I'm not confident enough. I know that that's sort of that's the bright line, is once the cards have entered your hand, that's considered to be a game loss. So the judge still has discretion in certain cases, but I don't know what the ruling is. I don't want to speculate on what the ruling is. We'll find out when it gets resolved.
So Esper Dragons versus Esper Dragons, Gerard, Fabiano, Riley, Curran. We'll go back to that match when we do have a moment, but seeing these 2 players who have had a lot of Open Series success sitting at 6-1 with the deck, not terribly surprising. We knew it was going to be popular coming in.
And it's interesting because this is the first time that we've really seen Gerard put down Sultai mid-range control cards I own sort of strategy.
His deck, yeah.
So he must feel very confident that this deck's good. Now this is still kind of playing into his style. There's some good threats. There's card advantage. There's good answer. So this is the Sultai recipe he's been doing now in Standard, Modern, and Legacy for the last couple months, and a better part of the year, in fact. So even though this is different than what he's been playing before, it isn't really appreciably different from an overall strategic sense.
The ruling is a warning, a shuffling of the deck, and a moving on. Cards that he scried to the bottom stay on the bottom because Dig Through Time was something that occurred. So fairly easy situation is solved. You saw another end there from Fabiano. And now we do continue play. Rulings are all part of competitive Magic. Unfortunately, these have been simple. Here's a Dragon Lord Ojutai.
And you can see the cards in hand comparison right now, very good for Riley. Now, a lot of that is Riley picking up lands because of Pearl Lake Engine, but it's still the same sort of deal here. Riley pulling away, Gerard trying to stem the tide as much as possible against Pearl Lake Engine while doing something proactive on his own, and it's starting to ask a lot of him because his resources are being taxed.
Slumgar Scorn revealing Slumgar the Drifting Death is going to go after that Dragon Lord Ojutai. You saw Fabiano taking a look at the graveyard and the exile zone to see what's available. Here is Slumgar Scorn. Now this is interesting because Fabiano is casting this and Riley just says, I'm just going to pay 1. I'm not sure if Gerard thought that the dragon was still in his hand at that point, but when you're casting it, the card's no longer in your hand, it's on the stack.
It's also possible that was a little bit of gamesmanship, that Riley would just assume that, Gerard had a dragon, and if that's Gerard's only hope to win the game, then you just cast it and hope that Riley says, okay, that resolves.
Yep. There's Dragon Lord Ojutai. He's going to keep trying. There's Pearl Extinction. Nothing Gerard can do about that. Take a draw. He might be attacking. Slumga. That's in there. There's land for the turn. Here comes Pearl Ancient. No blocks. Takes 6. Fabiano's down to 7.
So Slumgar's Scorn cannot be used effectively while you're trying to resolve your own dragon, while your own dragon is on the stack if you don't have another dragon, correct? Because you don't have a dragon in play, nor can you reveal a dragon from your hand because your lone dragon is on the stack.
It's in this weird floating zone where it doesn't work the way that you want it to.
In the ether somewhere.
Yeah. There's a dissolve that does resolve. It looks like Riley Curran's going to win game number 2, which means, hey, who wants to play some speed magic? You in?
Gonna be tough.
Yeah, to say the least.
I mean, that game went on for a while there. Both players signing into more threat cards, and Riley with the best one in Pearl Occasion, but that's not the fastest card to try to win a game with.
We're going to see who can get things done pretty quickly here now, as these players will shuffle up and get ready for game number 3. Make sure our clock is correct for you guys at home so you have an idea. About 8 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. These players are going to shuffle up really quick, so we're going to talk really quick here. We will very quickly discuss the Polar Plunge playmat that is available here for season number 2. Free limited edition, and as you like to say, Patrick, no strings attached.
Yeah, this is available to all Open Series competitors until May 23rd. You get this when you sign up. No extra charges. Don't have to give us any additional information. Blah, blah, blah. You just get it all the way through the end of season 2.
Pretty simple.
Simple stuff. It's actually easier than simple because you have to do nothing.
That's true.
Easier than simple.
Look for one for season 3 coming soon, too. No spoilers, but look forward to that. It's game number 3. It's going to be a quick one, so try to keep up at home. Both players are going to start with a couple of lands. A Temple of Deceit there for Fabiano. For Curran, he's got a Dismal Backwater. He's up to 21. Fabiano will play a Temple of Enlightenment. That top card, we'll see where it goes. It's going to go to the bottom. We'll go back Riley's way after this duress. So we'll see that Curran is working with a Haven of the Spirit Dragon. He's got a Hero's Downfall, Pearl like Ancient, which was instrumental for him winning game number 2. Slumgar Scorn, Dig Through Time, Dissolve, and a Thoughtseize.
Dangerous hand for Riley to keep here.
Yep.
This one can go south real easily.
Fabiano's going to take the Thoughtseize, give Riley the rest of his hand back, pass the turn back. Curran will draw a card. There's the Haven of the Spirit Dragon, drew a Foul Tongue Invocation. He'll pass the turn back. Fabiano, he's moving so fast, he's dropping cards. There's a Polluted Delta, he'll pass it back. Curran will draw. Caves of Koilos is a land. That'll work.
Still needs double blue.
Fabiano with a Narset Transcendent. That's in. This can take over a game very quickly. Elevator goes up. Fabiano wants to make sure he knows what it does. Non-creature, non-land card. Planeswalker will count. That's why he double-checked. Hero's Downfall will take care of that.
It's always good to double check because you have some cards like Narset floating around the format, and then you have some cards like the blue Megamorph Stratus Dancer.
Yes.
That just says instant or sorcery.
Yep.
So always good to double check.
Fabiano's hitting his land drop, so cast and Anticipate. He'll take a look at the top 3 cards.
Of course, Gerard just trying to find something proactive to do while Riley is missing land drops.
Gerard sacrifices Polluted Delta, get an island, shuffle that deck some. Dropping cards everywhere, trying to move so fast. The last thing that Fabiano wants is a draw here. He'll untap. He will take a draw now. There's the Thoughtseize. Clearing the way for something. You have to imagine his good friend Ashiok. Pearl Ancient, Dissolve, Dig Through Time, Slumgar Scorn. Bunch of cards that are double blue. Against an opponent that does not have double blue. Ashiok, yes sir. Exile. Temple of Enlightenment, top card, stays on top, past that turn. Curran, another black source. Whole bunch of black mana now. He's got Nurborg, but Fabiano already had one. Ashiok going up again. Dig Through Time, negate Island. It's up to 7. Fabiano will just pass. Haven of the Spirit Dragon is a land, but
This
it's
is
not blue.
so punishing.
Yep. Dragon Lord Ojutai, do you resolve? Yeah, you do. Foul Tongue Invitation will take care of that, though, revealing a dragon, of course. Fabiano will gain 4 life. Gerard will untap. He'll take a draw. Leaves another copy of Narset. Elevator going up. Shaheen? Actually, Elevator going to stay where it is. Actually going down.
Gerard's got to get his beat on here, you know what I mean? Just,
You think so?
I mean,
thought he might work his way towards the ultimate.
I think that at Gerard going for the ultimate here, he risks not being able to win the game in time.
Wow, okay. Fair enough. I thought for sure he was going to go towards the ultimate. I mentioned Shaheen Cerrone because I imagine he's pretty happy with Narset being in play. And Riley is having so much difficulty with his lands, he's just going to extend the hand. Gerard Fabiano is going to win this game and match over Riley Curran, 2-1. Fabiano with Esper Dragons, not Sultai cards I own, 7-1.
And